Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the webinar, Social Media for Business. My name is Nathaniel, and I'm excited to share with you some of the content that we've got to go through today. This is some cutting edge content that I haven't shared before. I wanted to make sure this webinar was fresh so you get the most value out of it and the latest technology growth hacks and what's working best in the industry. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can leverage your time as well and do all of this within 15 minutes a day. I see so many people out there wasting time building communities on Instagram, building communities on Facebook, building communities on LinkedIn, when really they could be amalgamating those resources and focusing on one. I also see a lot of confusion in the marketplace, a lot of business owners not sure where to spend their time. And as we all know, traditional marketing methods are really not working anymore. So you have to change in order to remain competitive. So without further ado, I want to get stuck straight into it. Can everybody hear me okay? Appreciate the comments coming back to confirm. Just for those of you who don't know about my background, I run a company called Bibby Consulting Group. We're specialists in social media lead generation. We've done a lot on LinkedIn and business to business. There's a snapshot of some of our clients there. We've worked across a lot of different industries, particularly with the business to business industries, and I'd have to be a fool not to recognize that there's some patterns. I've worked with over 4,000 companies during the last 13 years, 120 different industries, and can't help but notice over time, what works and what doesn't in certain industries. The way customers behave has certainly changed. So you have to have a culture of being able to adapt in order to remain competitive. And these are just some of the things that I've shared with you, but every business is different. You have to do what's right for your brand, and I always encourage you to just start with your customer and find out who they are and what they spend their customer journey doing. And we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail shortly. Here's the agenda for today. So I'm going to give you a quick update on the industry. We're going to talk about getting your selling process aligned with your buyers. I see so many sellers out there that are not aligned with their buyers. I mean, geez, look at the people buying banner ads. Who out there actually notices banners when they look at websites these days? How many people actually notice billboards, newspaper ads? I mean, we're bombarded literally by thousands and thousands of pieces of information every day. And this is a large reason why the majority of businesses don't survive past 10, 15 years. And we all know that most businesses fail. If you make it past 15 years, you're in less than 0.001% of businesses. So really, you have to sort of get your marketing in order and get your selling process aligned with your buyers in order to remain competitive. So we're going to talk about which platform's most effective for you, because it's all very well for us to get listed on every single social media platform out there, but really what impact is it going to have and where's the return on investment? We're going to talk about creating a customer journey map, introduction of buyer personas, and 3 of our latest social media business hacks. So these are 3 things that I think are most valuable that you could go away, implement in your business right now. Won't cost you much to do, if anything, and you'll have a dramatic impact. And these are some of the things that we do, internally to get dramatic results. How to measure your results, how to do all of it in 15 minutes per day. And at the end, I'm going to give away a free gift for those that are attending live. It's a LinkedIn starter pack. It includes a playbook on building the foundation, some of the basics of LinkedIn, a workbook so that you can actually define your personal brand, and an 18-step profile optimization checklist. I'm fascinated by how we get stuck as marketers. If somebody asked Henry Ford before he developed the automobile what the people wanted, they would have said faster horses. So when I started my career, search engine optimization was the most effective way to get loads of leads. And I got to the top of Google and we were getting 10 leads a day in a real estate business. Now, if I use the same strategies today, it wouldn't be as effective because Google's developed, its algorithms got more sophisticated. Later on, I got recruited and I worked for a company in Hong Kong with 150 real estate agents. And I had to adapt. So I learned about Google advertising. Now, as you all know, all of the above the fold of the page is covered in ads. So we have to adapt, and social media is the future. It's now 2016, and the digital revolution is forecasted by futurists to go to 2050. So we're only a third of the way through this transformation that we're in. And so this will be a historical event that people will look back on. And what we're heading towards is like, with robots and, virtual reality and all that kind of stuff. The world is changing. You don't have to look at our kids to recognize that things aren't the same as they used to be. And the main difference is that the buyers are now in control of your brand, not you. So what people are saying about your brand really defines it. So what's happening is technology is adapting quicker. Would anyone agree? Is it faster or quicker? It's faster, isn't it? So when technology is adapting faster than businesses' ability to adapt. So only 71 companies remain today from the original 1955 Fortune 500 list. So you can only imagine as digital marketing becomes more prevalent, how that number is going to become less and less. Okay, now I just want you to stop and read this slide because this is quite fascinating. In 1964, the most valuable company, AT&T, was worth $267 billion and employed 758,611 people. Now Google is worth $370 billion, but only has 55,000 employees. Okay, so we're moving towards technology. That's why it's so important to embrace this, guys. If you say your business is run on word of mouth, you must embrace social media, or your business will be extinct in 5 years. It's time to kick traditional concepts of marketing and advertising to the curb. Look, if you're still doing the things that worked 5 years ago, you're doing it wrong. What worked for somebody 5 years ago will not work for somebody 5 years from today. It's important to be the leader. You'll get the most effective results by doing what your competitors are not doing yet. So you have to take risks. Sure, everything's not going to work, but you have to measure your results, find out what does, and then you'll have a competitive edge and you'll be able to lead the way. All you have to do is look outside and look at the people walking around as they're trying to cross the road, looking at their mobile telephone. Everything's online. I used to go on a holiday, and if I wanted to find a good restaurant somewhere I'd never been before, I'd walk down the street and I'd see a restaurant on the right-hand side of the road with a few people in it, and another one on the left with a couple of people in it, and then down the street I'd see one that's packed. And that's how I would determine which one would have the best food and which one would be the best atmosphere for us to eat out at. Now, as you know, you can go on Urban Spoon, TripAdvisor, or any of these websites with reviews. Look how many stars it has. Look at how many people have commented on it. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. The customers are defining the brand. And this is happening in professional life, whether you're in insurance, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a plastic surgeon. It's all happening online. People are looking online to get references to see whether you're good at what you do. So just stop here as well. The world's largest taxi company now, Uber, owns no taxis. The largest accommodation provider owns no real estate, Airbnb. The largest phone company owns no infrastructure, Skype. The world's most valuable retailer owns no inventory, Alibaba. Now Netflix, the world's largest movie house, owns no cinemas. And the largest music company, Apple, owns no music. And the world's biggest book distributor owns no books, Amazon. So the digital disruption is happening, and it's going to happen in your industry. It's happening across every industry. We've just seen it recently in Australia with the taxis and the Ubers and what's going on there. So if you're in an industry that is being replaced by technology, then it's time to adapt. Okay, so I've heard from a lot of marketers out there that we're in an information age. Has anybody else heard about this? We've shifted. We're no longer in an information age, guys. This is an attention age. We're getting bombarded by thousands and thousands of marketing messages all day. And who's going to grab our attention? Who's going to develop a relationship with us? Marketing has become so much more important than sales. If you look at the customer journey, most of the time they're not even contacting the salespeople till they've done all of their need recognition, all of their research, all of their awareness. and they're actually, narrowing down to the very specifics of what they want, depending on what the product is. So how do you capture attention? Well, simple, guys. You can't do what everyone else is doing. And it's personalized, business to business, business to consumer, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's people to people. And it's about developing relationships. So you have to have a personal brand. It's no longer enough, guys, to just have a brand for your business. You've got to have a personal one. I don't care if you're a business owner, employee, a sales, admin, whatever. If you want to advance your business or your career, your professional life, you have to have a personal brand. It's very important. Oh, we nearly skipped ahead there. This is a snapshot of all of the technology landscapes out there. Look at all the social media sites. I mean, how on earth does somebody decipher where to spend their time? Could you see how business owners spend loads and loads and loads of time on social media with no results? Because unless you have a strategy and you have a formula for knowing exactly where your customers are and where to spend your efforts, you could easily waste a huge amount of time. And this is from 2012, guys. It's a completely different landscape now. And so this is what most of our friends do. When they don't understand something or it's too complicated, they bury their head in the sand. And this is why you see a lot of people on LinkedIn who have, in sales, but they've got a version of their CV up on LinkedIn. And they don't realize that customers are looking at their LinkedIn profile as part of their decision-making process. Now, you tell me, if somebody reads your CV, is that going to be doing much to assist the sales process? Of course not. So why spend $15,000, $20,000 on a website that looks fantastic when at the end of the buyer funnel, people are looking at your profile and you've just got a CV up there? 75% of business professionals use social media to be more informed. So I think we all understand that we need to be there. Let's talk now a little bit about the return on investment, because the biggest thing that I see social media companies doing wrong is they don't measure the right things. Now you tell me, if you're looking for a return on investment and you measure likes and comments and how many people view your page, does that necessarily equate to dollars in the bank? Because I can see a lot of people getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments, and they may feel great about it, but they're not actually making any money. So let's look at where we're going to actually measure the results as well. It's important to understand the difference between inbound and outbound marketing. Just to give you a very quick overview, outbound marketing is where you run out and tell as many people you can about what you do, hoping you find somebody who's interested. A good example of this is TV advertising, newspaper advertising, email marketing with no real targeted database that you just bought in a certain industry. Inbound marketing is where people are looking for what you do, and you're just showing up in the right place. Now, some of the things and the strategies that I use on social media is a method of turning outbound marketing into inbound marketing, because you tell me, is outbound marketing or inbound marketing more effective? And the answer, of course, is inbound. So what we're trying to do a lot of the time is outreach to people, get their attention, and then make them take an inbound action to get information from us so we can influence their buying decision. In terms of business to business, LinkedIn is the most effective social media platform for conversions. Then you've got Twitter and YouTube, SlideShare, and so on. I'm conscious of time, so I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit fast. I will be providing some of these slides after the event as well, if you want to go back over them. But if you're in business to consumer, then Facebook is where it's at. Having said that, it's getting more and more expensive. So if you are going to be marketing on Facebook, I encourage you to be very, very targeted in the way that you do it. And you can only do that by using a professional to manage your ads for you, unless you've got the time to really understand Facebook advertising and all the different targeting things you can do. Then I'd suggest getting a professional. Now, if there's one thing that I get you to take away from today, it's this key. Do you all want to know what the key to success is on social media? Okay, cool. It's not about you. It's not about you. Okay. A lot of people will, if you look at their Facebook page, it's so funny. They're posting all about their business. Oh, we've got excited. We've got, this new product to share with you. Oh, we've got a new staff member. Oh, look at our brand new offices. Look, it's not about you guys. Unless people have recognized the need, they're not going to be interested. People only want to hear about two things: what they already know about and what they already know they want to know about. I want to say that again. People want to know about two things: what they already know about and what they already know they want to know about. So if they don't already know they want to know about your new offices, then chances are that they're not going to be engaging with the content. And what happens to content that's not engaged with? Well, eventually your page is like one of those Facebook pages that posts stuff and no one sees it, because Facebook has an algorithm that's designed to give its users a good experience. And so if nobody's engaging with your stuff, guess what? No one's going to see it. Okay, customer journey mapping. This is the first time I've shared this with anyone in any of my events. This is a sort of relatively new phenomenon which I encourage you all to do. So customer journey mapping, what's the journey? So like, let's say for example, your customer's spending an hour making a decision as to whether or not to buy a product from you. How much of that hour are you spending in front of them, and how much are you influencing them along the way? Okay, so this is what a customer journey map looks like. So you've got attract, interact, engage, and convert. And along the way, you can do things to influence your customers. So I'm going to provide this template for you guys so that you can do your own customer journey map. It's a visualization of customers' objectives, needs, feelings, and barriers throughout the path to purchase for a product. So of course, along the way, there's going to be objections, right? And so this is where we map out what the how to overcome these. So we've got objectives, we've got needs, we've got feelings, and we've got barriers. And I encourage you all to spend the time to work out where your customers are spending their time. And if you're not sure, ask them. I mean, call up some of your existing customers and say, hey guys, what social media site do you find the best for, when you're doing your research, or, where do you buy stuff off Instagram? Do you buy stuff off Facebook, etc., etc.? Okay, so customers search for local information throughout the purchase process. So I don't know if you can see that, but inspiration stage, research stage, purchase stage, and post-purchase stage. So they're actually looking for information. Now, when they're in the research stage, or the purchase stage, or the post-purchase stage, they're already aware of you. So this is where they're going to be doing things like searching for your name. Now, if you've ever Googled your name before, and guys, this is really important because last year in America, there was over 1 billion searches for personal names, and that's a huge amount more than there was the previous year. So people are doing research on people because they want to buy from people they trust. And what will normally show up is a social media page. Now, if you're on LinkedIn and you've got your LinkedIn profile optimized, that should be coming up number one, I would expect. Social media sites will definitely come up towards the top on Google, because Google's algorithm works that it favors sites that have a lot of content, that are regularly updated, that have a lot of inbound links. And of course, social media sites are always updated. They have a lot of inbound links and a lot of content. So it's a lot easier for us to get a social media site to the top of Google than it is, say, a website. And it's my belief that in 5 years, websites will be extinct. Okay, so one of the things people say to me sometimes at events and so on is, hey, Nathaniel, I've got 20,000 followers, or 10,000 followers, I should say, on LinkedIn. I don't need any more assistance. I've got all these followers, but your social network is not really where the value is. It's just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Where the value is the potential referrals and the opportunity, beneath to reach their networks. So, like on LinkedIn, most people have their connections visible. So it's pretty much like you could walk into your competitor's office and walk straight out with a CD with his database on it. It's no different than looking at their profile and seeing, well, who all their connections are, because they're more likely going to be their clients. And this is going on right now, guys. A lot of people are attacking their competitors' contacts. So it's crazy. But look, if you've got a client out there who, let's say you target financial advisors, and one of your clients is a financial advisor, there's a good chance he's connected to other financial advisors. And if you can either get an introduction to those referrals or just mention that you have the common connection, then it's going to be the most effective way. So I'm going to talk a lot about LinkedIn today, guys, because I know a lot of you are in business to business, and how to engage your network and generate leads. Okay, so just a quick update. How many members are there on their LinkedIn globally? We're over 450 million members now. They're forecasting, it was 1 billion members by 2020. I think it's now up to 3 billion. The fastest growing sectors, the university students, and China is growing as well. So everyone's on there. Look, if you search for different professionals and you can't find them, it's probably because you don't have any connections in common. What I find in the search results or what you find in the search results are not necessarily going to be the same, because we've got different networks. So the people I see first will be my first degree connections, then my second degree connections, and so on. So you have to start building a network, and the best way to do that is to work out who your ideal client is, because there's no point. A lot of people say, like, I target anyone that needs financial advice, or we can help anyone. But the reality is, like, in an ideal world, you wouldn't help everyone. There'd be a maximum of 20% of your customers that would give you 80% of your revenue if you could service them properly. So it's actually more effective to pick a sector. So like in the old days, a Tasmanian vegan bodybuilder wouldn't be very effective as a business, but these days that's exactly what would work. I mean, geez, how targeted is that? Okay, so I thought to give you an idea of what a persona looks like, we'll just go through and do one. So it's actually creating like an avatar of an actual person. You can give them a name, talk about their background, what's key information about them or their company, how old are they, how much they earn, what are some of the buzzwords and mannerisms they use, where they like to shop, what are the sort of things they say, what are some of the common objections, is it price, is it what their friends think, do they discuss, are you selling garage doors, and are they, is it the wife or the husband that's the buyer, and are they discussing it down at the local cafe, and what sort of things are they saying about their garage doors, for example. Marketing message, how should you describe your solution to the person? So what business are you really in, so you might sell, let's say you're a business coach, but the reality is you're in the business of freeing up people's time. So really, it's more of a lifestyle product, really. So what's a marketing message? It'll give you the time that you deserve to spend with your family and friends so you can live a fulfilling life. Or is it, we're going to coach you on how to run your business? I mean, you tell me. And what's your elevator pitch? So you guys have to get really, really, really succinct with your marketing message, because your unique selling proposition has to be displayed in everything you do on marketing. Okay, so your unique selling proposition is what makes you different. Do you have the most competitive prices? Do you have the widest range of products? Do you have the best customer service? Is it all personalized? Do you deal with all your customers? Is that your point of difference? And that's how you can compete with the bigger companies? You tell me, but it has to be clear in all of your marketing. So let's take Sally as an example. She's head of HR, worked for the same company for 10 years. So guys, this isn't a real person, this is an avatar. So Of course, there's going to be variations of this in the target market, but if we go exactly after Sally, then we're going to have the most effective results. And this is how buyer personas work. Okay, she's married with 2 children. One's 10, one's 8. So that much detail, guys. 30 to 45. She's got a dual household income of 140 grand. Calm demeanor. Probably has an assistant screening calls us to receive collateral mailed or printed. So our goals are to keep employees happy and turnover low, support legal and financial teams, and the challenges are getting everything done with a small staff, rolling out changes to the entire company, and how we help make it easy to manage all of employee data in one place, integrate with legal, financial, whatever it is, guys. But I was starting to get the picture. Some of the things you might say would be, it's been difficult getting company-wide adoption of new technologies in the past. I don't have time to train new employees on a million different databases and platforms. I've had to deal with so many painful integrations with other departments, databases, and software. So these are the problems of what you're addressing. So people will connect with problems before they connect with solutions, because people only want to hear about what they already know they want to hear about, and they already know about the problem, they just don't know about the solution yet, otherwise they would have solved it. Common objections: I'm worried I'll lose data transitioning, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture. Okay, we're going to have to move forward, guys. I'm conscious of time. I know you're all very busy. I don't want to go over 45 minutes today maximum. Social selling. Okay, so this is how you actually get return on investments from social media. Step 1, create a professional brand. Find the right people, so buyer personas, customer journey mapping, engage with the insights and reaching out to them, and building strong relationships. It's all about building a community, not just blanket marketing to people, like people focusing on building email databases and bombarding them with call to actions are never going to get the result. We all know how we make decisions personally, so let's not be silly and do the opposite in our businesses. So why now? Okay, so when digital disruption is happening as quick as it is, its transient competitive advantage is so easy to adopt. So if you can nail this, because it's moving so quickly, you can have such an edge over your competition. It's absolutely phenomenal. Whereas if you're doing what everybody else is doing in your industry and everyone else is doing marketing-wise, then it's going to be very difficult. And this is the sort of chart that you have. So you've got the innovators and early adopters, and these are people that are literally like 4 years ahead of the laggards. You've got the early majority, late majority, and everyone thinks, okay, well look, the high risk is the innovation and the early adopters and the people that are doing things different. However, that's where all the rewards are. Everybody wants to see that something so proven and tested before they hop in and have a go. Like the Google AdWords is a great example. People are starting to go into it now, but guys, it's already so competitive, it's so expensive. I'm not saying it's not effective, it is, but when it was first coming out, that's when the real dollars were made. I remember paying $2 a click for web design. Now we're paying $30 a click. And you'll be lucky to get, out of 10 clicks, 1 conversion, so $300 for 1 inquiry. Okay, now if your website's worth $500, then you better be bloody good at closing those inquiries. Okay, sorry, I just had a drink of water. So look, with so much competition out there, it's more important than ever to stand out from the crowd. And this is a quote by Richard Branson: if you want to stand out from the crowd, give people a reason not to forget you. So Richard Branson has 10 million followers on LinkedIn. He's the most followed man. Bill Gates is the second most followed man, somewhere around 7 million. Now, geez, what a big jump, 10 million to 7 million, and why is that such a big difference? And the answer is Richard Branson has a very, very well-defined personal brand. Now, is he producing all of the content that he puts out there? What do you think? I mean, did he have time to be hot air ballooning and skiing and setting up all these different companies and doing all the media appearances he does and writing all the books he does? Of course not. He's just a very well-defined personal brand. Virgin's mission statement is very clear. The employees represent the brand so effectively, and he's on his own personal image, and he's used it really well. And social media has been a blessing for Richard Branson, and you should do the same. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in insurance sales or your accountant or you're in marketing. You have a personal brand, and bring some personality to your social profiles and your business profiles, and that'll be the difference between you getting business and somebody else getting the business, because you'll develop a relationship with somebody online rather than just providing some information, which, by the way, is better than what most people do. Most people just talk about their business and their background and why they're so great, and you're starting to get the picture as to why that doesn't work. Stand out from the crowd. Okay, I want to talk about social proof, because this is another way to stand out from the crowd. So why are we on social media? The reason is because we saw our friends joining social media. And when you go on somebody's Facebook page or you go on somebody's LinkedIn profile, it's not them telling you how good they are like it is on a website. It's if you have a good social media presence, it's going to be their customers, it's going to be recommendations, it's going to be endorsements. And so it's no different with your business. You need social proof. So go out there and get your customers to advocate for your brand and produce recommendations for you on LinkedIn, to write your reviews on Google+, to write your reviews on Facebook, to comment on your YouTube videos. Because if you don't have that engagement, you won't have social proof. And people buy from people they trust. I can't stress this enough. And so how do you build trust with somebody online when you're not there in front of them? Now you tell me, because everyone says first impressions count, is that now happening on the internet, or is it happening in person? So before is, when you shake somebody's hand, within the first 7 seconds, they decide whether or not they trust you. I've heard that in sales training before. Well, these days, guys, guess what? They're Googling your name and they're deciding in 7 seconds whether or not they trust you. So if you're not showing up in the search results, then that's not doing much to impact the outcome. And if your competitors are, then I'd be concerned. So in the online world, social proof is power. This is so important. I did a seminar, I won't name the company, but a few months ago, and all the attendees were under 30 years old, and there were 150 of them, and I got them to put their hand up if they had a recommendation on LinkedIn. I saw 3 hands come up. I told them to keep their hand up if they had more than 2 recommendations on LinkedIn, and only 1 person kept their hand up. Out of 150 people, all under the age of 30, all business professionals. So how easy is it to separate yourself and stand out from the crowd with social proof if you have more than 1 recommendation on LinkedIn? So let's say you're looking for advice on how to keep your house plants alive. So you're on the internet, you find 2 articles. One has been tweeted 5 times. The other one has been tweeted 500 times. Which one do you read? Think about it. So one's been tweeted 5 times, the other's been tweeted 500 times. Which one do you read? The post is set to ignite, the one with 500 obviously, because of the social proof alone. You pick this post because of a number. The content success may have little to do with the actual content. Okay, so what I'm saying is the other article could be good, but if that person didn't know how to get it tweeted 500 times, then they're not going to get read. So you can see how you get economies of scale once you start to get some traction. So how do you do this? Well, LinkedIn is a great example. If you share your articles in groups, relevant groups, and you email it out to your contacts, or if you target people that are really engaging, then you're going to get these results. It's all about being extremely targeted. And so I'm going to go into these social media hacks because we're running out of time. Growth hack number 1. These are some of the things that we're doing internally that most even marketers wouldn't know about. And that's the first one is to optimize your profile. So this is a graph of an ex-employee who, after a week of getting their profile optimized, so you can see they're getting no views. The column on the right shows the number of views, and the bottom axis is the time. So they're getting no views per day. Within a week, they got 232 profile views, and that was 91 in a day after 7 days, literally from getting their profile optimized. So people are searching on LinkedIn using keywords. So if I'm looking for an accountant, I could go onto Google and say accountant Melbourne and sift through all of the different ads and calls to action and not actually read about an individual. Whereas I could go on LinkedIn and see who I know, and what will come up first will be people that are my first degree connections, so people already in my network. And if there's no one in my network that's an accountant, a second degree connections will show up, and so I'll be able to see who are my shared connections. So I could always ask for a referral, or there may even be recommendations on his profile if he's a good accountant. Now the other thing is Google searches account for 40% of profile views. So going back to when people are searching for your name, they're going to end up on your LinkedIn profile. So it has to be written in an effective way to communicate with your customer. Now, a lot of people spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a website. And when people are down this end of the sales funnel, so they've already done their research, and they're actually weighing up between a couple of alternatives, and they're looking at searching your name, they're searching your competitor's name. It could be the difference between you winning and losing business. But of course, most businesses don't know this, because when they ask their customers, if they ever do ask, why they didn't buy from them, most of the time it's either subliminal or they just make up something like price or whatever it is. But a lot of the time it's, things like this. They've done their research, and their Facebook page only had 100 likes, and they thought, oh, this doesn't look very good. I'll just Google his name. Or where's this link? Where's him showing up in his search results? It's not showing up. That doesn't do much for me. And then I've Googled the competitor's name, and all I see is glowing reports, recommendations, social proof, and engagement. Growth hack number 2. I can't believe that I'm sharing this with you guys. This is the most effective thing that I've picked up in the last 6 months. So we talked about how people spread their efforts across multiple channels. Leverage your contacts across multiple social profiles. What I'm about to show you is a really, really quick hack to grow your database, to have higher conversion rates, to actually grow your connections on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and all the rest. And that's literally to leverage your contacts across multiple social profiles. If you're in business to business, the easiest way to find your customers will be through LinkedIn, because of how targeted you can be with a search. Not on Facebook. Like, I never did Facebook advertising until I realized this hack. So if you don't know already, you can export a CSV file, a database of all your connections on LinkedIn, and that includes their name, their email address, their job title, their position, and you can bring all of that data out of LinkedIn. Now, if you can bring it out of LinkedIn, you can also bring it into LinkedIn. So you can also bring data into Facebook and create ad campaigns targeted to those guys. So let's take a little example of a guy that has 500 connections on LinkedIn, and they're all in his target market, and he spent a lot of time and energy and money building those connections. He can now export all of that data into a spreadsheet, import it into Facebook, and advertise them to them on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. Now, of course, not all of the 500 are going to have Facebook accounts with the same email address, but on average about half, or maybe a third of the people will. And that's going to be so targeted because they're all in this target market. Now, if you're advertising to somebody on LinkedIn and Facebook, and let's say he starts emailing them as well, the results will be dramatically stronger than if they were just doing it on one platform. So how expensive is it to target these people? Well, it's only 500 people. And half of them may not have a Facebook account. So 250 people on Facebook, it's not going to cost you more than a couple of dollars a day to promote to them. And a lot of the time, because you're in the social sphere, it's subliminal. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not sure where I heard about I'm not sure where I heard about you. I just heard your name around," and they may have seen your ads on Facebook and not even known it. And so, when people are advertising on LinkedIn, they're advertising on Facebook, and they're growing their database through their website. They're wasting so much resource, because you could just be doing it through one platform and leveraging your efforts. So, how do you export your connections on LinkedIn? So here's the instructions. So you might want to jot this down. So you hover over My Network tab, click Connections, and then under Advanced Settings, there's a settings cog you can see on the right there in the red circle. And then you can click on Export LinkedIn Connections, and that'll create a CSV file. And this is one of the most effective ways I know to build a unique database. So if you're doing email marketing and you have a creative way to invite these databases to subscribe to your email marketing, then I encourage you to do so. And this is something we're doing for all of our clients, because if we're doing lead generation and marketing on LinkedIn, we have to leverage off of it by using Facebook and email marketing, because the return on investment goes through the roof. Facebook custom audiences are fantastic. So what you can actually do on Facebook, this is really amazing, is you can import that data, right? So let's say, for example, they're all let's use a completely different example. Let's say they're HR managers in the water industry, right? And so Facebook will take those 250 names, let's say, and you can create a custom audience of those people. So you import the data, and that's a custom audience. So just market to those people, and you can choose whether you market to their friends as well. But what you can also do is clone that. So if you've got 250, a sample of 250 people, you can say, hey, Facebook, can you find me another 250 people exactly like this? And what it'll do is replicate it for you. So how great is that for scaling a database? And you can market like that. So people ask me, well, is Facebook effective for marketing? Shit, if you do it like this, it is. But if you're just promoting posts to anyone and everyone, then you can spend a huge amount of money getting people to engage with your posts that aren't your customers and who've never heard about you, who are already in the buying funnel. So this is the most effective way to get really targeted leads, and these ones will be the highest value customers for you. Now, this is where it gets even better. Google remarketing. So traditionally, remarketing is basically when somebody visits your website and you get a cookie, what we call it, dropped into your browser, and then you get followed around the internet by these banners. So you may have noticed that if you've been shopping for some clothes for the ladies out there, for example, and all of a sudden that particular dress is showing up on every website you visit. That's because popular websites like carsales.com, Channel 7, rent out space on their website to Google and their display network, which is banner advertising. So you can access all of the big websites out there through Google's display network. However, that can very easily chew up your budget. So what we do is we only target it to specific people. So you can actually import that data into Google and follow them around the web with your banners. So it's effectively like when you go and see 5 real estate agents to list your house, for example, and after you've met with all of them on the way home, all of the billboards along the side of the freeway switch out and start advertising one individual real estate agent. And it's going to have a huge impact on whether or not you list with them. So let's say, for example, I connect with somebody on LinkedIn who's an HR manager in the water industry, and later on he's on Facebook and he starts to see my banners, and then he's on channel7.com and he starts to see my banners. He's looking for a car, so he's on carsales.com and starts to see my banners. Geez, he's going to think that this guy's got one of the largest businesses out there, but it's also going to remind them to come back. And what happens is when he comes back to either my LinkedIn profile or my website, the conversion rate, the chance of him doing business is so much higher than it was the first time. So multi-channel, multi-touch point is the most effective way to market. Okay, the third hack, and this is lead generation. I mean, use LinkedIn to find, connect, and engage. And the key to all of this is bringing what to say to get the conversation offline. So if you're in business-to-business sales, listen up, guys. This is the most effective way to generate leads. I'm going to use an example of a client who built 500 new connections in a month, or sent 500 connection requests on LinkedIn, 277 accepted. And when those 277 accepted, she asked them if they would like to come to a seminar. 42 people came. Of course, that's a great opportunity for somebody whose average transaction size is about $500,000 in real estate. So what does that message say? Well, it could say, thank you for connecting. And, I've noticed that you're an HR manager in the water industry. We specialize in helping teams in that particular industry develop their adult learning skills. I'd like to learn more about what you do. Are you free for a chat sometime next week? Or there's some synergies with the clients that we like to work with. Are you free for a chat? Or I've noticed that we have some mutual connections. I'd like to learn more about what you're doing in this area. And that's how you can get 42 leads in a month very easily. This is just an SMS I had from Maureen, she's one of our clients based in Singapore, selling real estate at the time. Wow, thanks a million. After just a few days, double my network and already have 10 qualified leads. So that's a great result there. She sells Australian real estate to investors. So what we did is we targeted CEOs based in Singapore that actually went to university in Melbourne. So they've got some ties with Australia, and obviously if they're CEOs, they've got the money to spend on property investment. Take the conversation offline, so important. A lot of people will go back and forth on LinkedIn about their business. Bad move. You lose control of the sales cycle in this particular process. So this is a step: find, connect, and engage. I'll give you one more example, then we've got to wrap up because of time. College for adult learning. So you see some of the examples there. Let's just take the one on the left for starters. Healthcare, 582 requests, 247 people said yes. We then screen them with a client. We only messaged 206, and out of those 49 fresh leads. We actually did this across 3 industries in month 1, so they got 122 leads over the course of a month. And they're all HR managers in those particular industries. So the secret of it all is getting started, and as we all know, your time is valuable. So digital marketing is really underrated in terms of the skill set, and there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're doing. I'd encourage you to get a professional to manage your digital marketing holistically, so somebody that's overviewing the whole thing. If you do get a marketing manager internally, the good ones are going to cost you like over 150 grand a year. The ones that are under 100 grand, unfortunately, some of the things they've learned at university are going to be out of date. So you want to get someone that's cutting edge. So you're better off getting an outsourced service provider who's working with loads of different businesses, loads of different industries, because their finger's going to be on the pulse and they'll be aware of what's happening in the marketplace. And so I'm going to share with you some of the things that we can do to assist. Before we do that, I'm just going to play something from our clients, because it's probably better for you to hear it from them than us. Going back to social proof. So this is what some of our clients have to say about their experience.
We've been working alongside Bibby Consulting Group for several months now and have experienced outstanding results. We knew our clients were on LinkedIn, but what we didn't know was how to find the right people and what to say to engage and convert them to new business. After doing research, it became quite evident that Bibby Consulting are the specialists in this area. They helped optimise the profile of our MD and developed a strategy designed specifically for us to generate leads for our business in the key sectors that we were wanting to grow in. Within the first round of engagement messages, we had over 100 leads and almost doubled our sales revenue. The Bibby team took the effort to guide us through the process step by step and made adjustments to our strategy to ensure that we generated the best return on investment possible. This is just the beginning, and we look forward to growing our business further with Bibby's lead generation system. If anyone's looking to outsource their lead generation to a company that stays ahead of the curve with the latest in social media, then I highly recommend the team at Bibby Consulting Group.
I'd just like to thank the guys at We Are Video for sending me that. Obviously, it's a professional production. They took the time not only to give me that wonderful recommendation, but also to record it in the studio, and I'm really grateful for that. Really lucky to have some of the clients that we work with and build such great relationships with them. But I really enjoy what we do and helping businesses grow. And this side of things, if you can nail it, marketing and then lead generation, it can make such a huge difference to the way the business runs. So a couple of ways we can help. One is there's, for those of you that just want to go away and learn it yourself, I've got a website called linkedinsider.com.au. That's linkedinsider.com.au. There's 9 training modules on there about how to use LinkedIn for business, how to get more customers through LinkedIn, how to set up your profile, stand out from the crowd, social proof, message scripts, templates, profile optimization, how to sell to these people, how to convert them into leads, how to measure the results. There's a stack of content there, videos, checklists, and downloads. That's $597 if you go to linkedinsider.com.au. If you enter the promotion code BCGVIP, you'll get a $100 discount. So go ahead and take advantage of that if that's of interest. And then I do some one-on-one coaching as well. This is for business owners that traditionally either business owners or salespeople that want to generate leads through social media, and I'll show you how to do that. It's 60 minutes. I'll share my screen with you and I'll show you exactly how to do it for your industry and what message script I suggest using and how you should be managing it on a day-to-day basis. And that's 1997. So those are the 2 offers that we have. Obviously, for being here today, I have got a special for you guys. So you can pick up the LinkedIn Insider membership and the one-on-one coaching. It's normally $2,594. Today $997. So it's a discount of just over $1,500. This is only going to be valid for today. I'm not going to keep this valid after today. There's a lot of value in what we do, and I hope that the webinar's been valuable. There's a money back guarantee for 14 days. We stand behind the value we provide. That's only available today. So the only way that you can get access to this is to email me directly, either by replying to one of the webinar emails or emailing Nathanial at bibbyconsultinggroup.com.au. Now, before we wrap up, I want to tell you how you can do LinkedIn in 50 minutes a day. And this is the same as other social media platforms as well. If you're spending time on Facebook, it's the same sort of thing. So number one, find content to share, send connection requests. Number two. Number three, look at who liked or commented on your posts. 4, send connection requests to people who engage with your posts and interacting with you. Send introduction messages to all new connections. So when people accept your connection request, don't just let them join the network without introducing yourself and saying hi and thanking them for connecting. Convert prospects to offline discussions. So if you are chatting to anyone, ask them for their phone number and talk to them offline. You always got to guide them through the sales process. That's so important. Endorse and recommend others. The law of reciprocation is ripe on social media, and they'll endorse, recommend you back. Respond to messages, of course, and post to your network. Keep them updated on not necessarily what you're doing, but things they may be interested in, sharing other content. Okay, and I promised you a free gift, LinkedIn Starter Pack, Building the Foundation Playbook, Personal Branding Workbook, 18-Step Profile Optimization Checklist. What I'm going to do because of time is I'll email that through later today. So you'll all receive that in your inbox. There's a lot of value there, that Personal Branding Workbook. Spend the time to complete that, and you can use the checklist when you're optimizing your profile on LinkedIn. And so I'm going to finish with a quote from Richard Branson, who, if you haven't gathered already, is one of my mentors. He's the most followed man on LinkedIn. So he says, have passion for what you do, believe in yourself and your product and your customer, persevere, delegate, listen, have fun, do good, and add value wherever you go. If you can add value before people become a customer, then it'll come back in mountains. So that's a website there, guys. I really appreciate the time that you've given me today. I know you're all very busy, and I hope you found the webinar valuable. I encourage you to share this content when you get the recording in your inbox on social media, and if we can help, then more than happy to do so. So with that, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great day.